Hi, my name is Jim Whelans. I'm the Senior Group Chef for the UK for CH&CO. And I'm here to talk to you today a little bit about sustainable foods and alternatives to foods we buy every day and use in our home kitchens. As you can see, I'm home, sat in my conservatory during lockdown. Spend a lot of time out on my bike as well, going around my local area and finding so many local suppliers, vineyards, small farmers that have vending for milk, for sustainable from your local area. So lots of different ways to be sustainable and use alternative products. We've got a few here on the table next to me, which we're going to talk about. And we like to refer to plant-based foods rather than vegan foods, because it's open to everybody, not just people that are vegan, people that want to make a difference to the planet. My family, we do vegan, vegetarian food 3 times a week, just to be a bit more of a balanced diet and a bit more friendly to the environment. At the back here, we've got some alternative milks to cow's milks. My favourite being the oaty milk, which is introduced to me by a friend or a colleague of mine, and a lovely flavour to have in a coffee. We've got a soya milk and we've got an almond milk. So 3 alternatives there to a cow's milk. We've then got some pulses here and some grains, which are really good to go in some of your meals to maybe take away some of the meat content and make it a little bit more sustainable. Rather than going vegan, vegetarian, you can replace half the meat with the pulses or the lentils or the grains. And then we want to talk about some alternatives here. We've got some tomatoes here that are flowing in from Holland. Not a great flavour, not very red and bright, not very sustainable because of the travelling across the channel and the lorries on refrigeration. When in the season what we are now, we're in the middle of August here, I've got some tomato plants outside which we'll show you in a bit, which are growing some really nice, fresh, vibrant tomatoes. And you don't need a huge garden to grow them in either. You can easily grow them in little pots or little grow bags outside your back door and in your back garden. And then some herbs. Again, herbs are, we do grow them in Britain, but they're also grown in Israel and flown across again through air travel, a big hit on the carbon footprint. And these can be easily grown in your back garden as well. You can buy the herbs from the supermarket and then plant them in your garden. They grow afterwards, meaning you can use them over and over again and save yourself some money as well as being environmentally friendly. And then we've got some strawberries and raspberries at the front here, talking about seasonality with foods and using them in their peak season. Winter time is all about roots and some brassicas coming into autumn time. Summertime for me is about British berries, really in their peak. Okay, so we're talking about herbs and growing with the garden. All the herbs you can see along here have been grown from pots bought from local garden centres or from supermarkets and then planted in the garden. This is the newest one: flat leaf parsley, coriander, some fresh thyme and sage, which was grown from a bush I had in a herb patch earlier on. Again, chives, some mint that's coming towards the end of its life. As you see, it's quite dry, but it's gone to seed, which means next year we're going to get a fantastic new vibrant crop. And we've got some oregano here. Again, you don't have to plant these. These are regular herbs I use in cooking in the kitchen. So I put these ones in for me, but you can choose specifically for you what you would like to have. But again, a far better alternative to the shop bought herbs or dried herbs. You get a far better flavour and a more intense flavour in your cooking. We talked about the tomatoes being flown in from Holland and seasonality. Now is the time for really good weather. The sun's bright. That's growing the tomatoes in the garden. We've got a wide variety. We've got some green tomatoes. We've got some yellow plum tomatoes at the end, some red plum tomatoes. We've got some little cherry tomatoes growing here, and the yellow ones are next to them, which are really coming to the peak of their season. And you can smell just on the vines how good they are and what flavour they're going to have. And again, really great example of seasonality and how to use alternative produce that's not been flown across from the other side of the world, but grown in your own back garden. So as we talked at the start of this about the alternative everyday products we use and the sustainable alternatives to them and how we can be more environmentally friendly with the alternative milks to cow's milk, using fruits and vegetables in season, the British, local that you can go and get on your bike or walk to the local farms and get out there and explore. Some of the pulses and the grains that we can use to replace the meat items and protein items in some of our dishes we eat to make them lighter and more sustainable, environmentally friendly. And at CH&CO we take our plant-based diets and the planet so seriously that we have taken on Adrian who's our vegan chef, our vegan guru, our plant-based guru, who helps us develop recipes and train our chefs in the ways of cooking alternative protein alternative products to be more sustainable, and plant-based dishes as well that are open to people that are meat eaters as well as people that are vegans and flexitarians and vegetarians. Thank you very much.